Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about enhancement materials. Now, I am at a relatively end game point in the game right now, and I think I am in a pretty good spot to talk about both the circle, triangle, and square enhancement materials, kind of what I'm doing at end game in order to optimize the growth of these materials so that I can enhance my gear more and so that I can curse it. So we're going to go through this entire system, this entire conversation, and break down kind of what the best way is to get circles, triangles, squares, and where to go from here. So let's go ahead and dig in. So something does happen, and we're going to relatively talk about kind of like three different phases of gameplay. And the first gameplay is going to be, or the first phase we're going to talk about is when you are just starting on a character. So this is going to be when you are hunting for circle enhancement materials. You're not too worried about triangle enhancement materials yet. And for a lot of these players, conquest missions are going to play a really big part. You are going to be running main story quests to get circle enhancement materials. You're going to be running all of it, and you're going to be getting your gear to plus 10. Most of the time, getting your gear to plus 10 is not a problem for players. Even getting your gear to plus 15 is not relatively an issue. Where the issue occurs tends to be from plus 15 to plus 20, where you really run into the first problem, which is triangles. And triangles, they are one of the biggest bottlenecks in the game when you are faced with them. When you kind of overcome them, you're going to find that all of a sudden you have a boatload of triangles, and you may actually start considering investing in your alts here. You can see here, my ice weapon has been maxed out for a while. I have 12 ice triangles. I actually don't have very many fire triangles because I've invested so many of them into my alt as well. So you can see that you just kind of start accumulating. I have 25 circle accessories. I have 5 triangle accessories. You kind of slowly start to accumulate them when you are kind of done with that section of progression on character. So what's the best way to get triangles? And candidly, if you're not running through the main story, even running through the main story, when you get to Witch's Wood, you get like 1 of each, which is not a lot at all. But candidly, the best place is Field Boss. I think if we're going to tout one thing that's really important in this video, it's going to be the importance of Field Boss, because Field Boss has a couple of things going for it. If you are able to hit a bunch of Field Bosses, you are going to be able to get a lot of triangles that way. Even if you're not getting a lot of triangles, you will get a lot of circles, which you can upgrade and exchange. And I am just going to show you guys real quick, if you didn't know, if you go to the Metals tab, if you go to Purification or Honor, and you go to Exchange, you can exchange metals here. So if I had 10 circles, I could get 1 triangle right here. So I could get up to 2 accessory triangles if I wanted to. And this is one of the best methods I found for getting triangles. And I think a lot of people probably utilize this. I think a lot of people probably utilize farming triangles this way. But again, there are some people out there who probably don't know about it. And even then, you're probably going to want even more options than that. This is where I would say crafting comes in, because I think crafting quickly, when you hit that plus 18 to plus 20 level, crafting is one of the best ways to get 3-star gear, to dismantle, and it is one of the best ways to awaken your gear as well, because you should be crafting for 4-star gear anyway in order to kind of awaken level your weapons higher, right? So that you can get to awakening 10 or evolution 10, whatever it's called. So you should be doing this for weapons no matter what, and you should be doing this eventually for armor. I know for me, I was able to curse my weapons first. I'm still in the process of cursing my armor because I continued to craft weapons afterwards, primarily. And the reason I did that in terms of 4-star is because I did want to be able to awaken them to 10. And what I should have done, and what I didn't realize, is I should have swapped to whenever there's a 3-star using my armor tickets for that, because that's potentially a guaranteed armor triangle. And while triangles are difficult in the game, there are different tiers of accessibility for them. And armor triangles and armor squares are the hardest materials to get. Candidly, you can get accessory triangles, you can get accessory squares, really easy because you can craft field boss materials into accessories, which can potentially be a 4-star accessory a lot more than you're going to be getting a 4-star armor. And so you do tend to get accessory squares more often than armor squares. And a lot of time when you do get armor that's 4-star, you do want to put that into your gear, right? You want to put that into your equipment. You don't want to dismantle it. So when we are looking at bottlenecks in the future and planning, I would say make sure you shift to getting 3-star armors when you're crafting armor or when you're crafting weapons. Don't craft your weapons over the 3-star pitties that you might see. Make sure you're crafting armor for that. You can go ahead and craft for the 4-star weapons if you are trying to max awaken them and bring out the best in them, but you will need a lot of armor triangles, and there's just no good way of getting them. Now, the question does come down to gold eventually, and this really does bring on the question of field boss materials, because for field boss materials, you do have a situation where should you craft accessories, or should you sell them, or should you ticket them to the genie? And candidly, I think it depends on the amount of gold that you have on your character in the current moment. For me, right now, for example, I need an accessory square because I need to recurse my ring, because while I was able to get my necklace plus 28, I did bring my ring down from 22 to 20, and it did lose its curse. So I know that I need to, with my gold over the next couple of days, I need to craft field boss accessories in order to descent the 4-star potentially item, right? Or a 4-star necklace or ring or earring, whatever I get, so that I can get a square to enhance my ring again. So it is really one of those things where the end game for enhancement materials really comes down to crafting. It comes down to knowing when to craft, what to craft, how to craft, and when to desynthesize. And gold becomes a resource that you invest depending on what it is you want to enhance or curse or craft. And let me tell you guys, it's really easy to get screwed on this. It's really easy to surrender and just be frustrated with the system. But as long as you keep at it, your curse level will rise. One thing to note as well is that weapons are one of the easiest things to curse. So the easiest squares to get are weapon squares because you exchange them in the Asterite shop. I really wish armor squares would be exchangeable at the Asterite shop, because right now what we're seeing in the game is we're seeing a lot of mega whales focus attack, and we're seeing defense and HP not really mitigate that, because you can get a weapon to plus 99, but you can't really get an armor to plus 99, right, in order to counter that. So right now we're kind of in a weird situation where might makes right, in the sense that it's whoever's attack is higher. It's a really weird situation. So that's pretty much everything I have to say in terms of enhancement materials and kind of how I'm approaching them right now. There are, of course, other ways to get enhancement materials, whether it's through login events or potentially conquest missions. But really, the best way and the really way you should be focusing right now is definitely field bossing every single day and crafting. And again, if I can just reiterate this point again, craft that 3-star armor, hit that 4-star armor. These are going to be really valuable things for you, and they're going to be very important for you to do. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.